Good afternoon. Welcome to ELL Plus with me, Sophia Su.
And me, Irena Rastegaeva, in this week's program. The campaign to extend the Bakerloo line to Lewisham gathers pace.
It could bring thousands of homes, definitely thousands of jobs. It will open up the economy for local businesses in Lewisham.
Hackney's Ridley Road Market gets a £1 million investment from the council.
Chinese New Year festivities start early at Goldsmiths College.
The campaign to extend the Bakerloo line to Lewisham has picked up pace this week with an increase in campaigning for the extension. If it is approved, work could start in 2023. Its supporters say it will provide a significant boost to the local economy. Tom Parker has been finding out more.
Built in 1906, the Brown Line on the map was originally called the Baker Street and Waterloo Railway. The shortened version of the name was quickly adopted, and over the years the Bakerloo line was extended further north to Harrow and south to Elephant and Castle. But now, after years of ideas, red tape, plans, consultations and more plans, the Bakerloo line could soon get the green light and extend further south to Lewisham. The extension has been backed by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, and if all goes to plan, work could start in 2023. Of course, how often do major infrastructure projects in London go to plan? The current Crossrail is over budget and already a year late. This project is no different, and the biggest problem is money. A figure of £3.6 billion has been mentioned, an amount TfL hasn't quite managed to find yet. Something that Lewisham councillor Brenda Dackers is keen to secure.
The main thing is funding. So we've got funding up to the point of making a decision. What we really need to do is make sure we're galvanising Transport for London, that we're galvanising who their investors would be, to make sure that they know that this is an absolutely viable project.
It's all about funding, really, and you have to go and get funding from central government. How are you going to do that?
Well, we're working closely with our colleagues in Southwark. Together we're putting forward this campaign for Back the Bakerloo. It is competitive. We will be competing against the Crossrail 2, but we've got to remember Crossrail 2 is estimated to cost about £30 billion, and that was way back in 2014. For a fraction of the cost, the Bakerloo line extension at £3.6 billion can open up the southeast. Can you imagine being on a platform and having a train every 2 to 3 minutes that takes you through to every single line on the underground? That would be phenomenal.
The extension will not only speed up the transport links and connect communities, but it will bring more money, unlocking the borough's future economic growth. For anyone who cares about the environment, the new electric trains will carry more passengers, meaning less people will use the roads, reducing vehicle use and lowering pollution. If the plans do get the go-ahead, 5 new stops will be added between Elephant and Castle and Lewisham, coming through here at New Cross Gate. But it's not just the southeast that will see the benefits. Major signalling upgrades are promised across the entire Bakerloo line, and the old, tired 1972 stock will be replaced with new trains. Therefore, every little helps. Every signature builds a stronger case for the Back the Bakerloo line campaign. But both Lewisham and Southwark Council, along with TfL and the London Mayor, must mind the gap between overpromise and under-deliver, and secure funds from central government. If they do, 112 years of transport history could stay on track for many more. Tom Parker, East London Lines, New Cross Gate.
A former student from the Royal Academy of Music is raising funds to convert a bus into a space for music lessons. He plans to turn it into a musical classroom, driving from school to school throughout Tower Hamlets and other London boroughs. The idea is to make learning musical instruments more accessible and affordable for children.
It's a rather unusual crowdfunding project, raising money to launch a music school on wheels, as well as giving performances. Today, the brains behind it all, Petru Kortache, is on his way to Essex to visit the UK's biggest used bus dealer, Ensign Bus. He's hoping to buy a second-hand double-decker and then add a bit of his own musical magic. It's equipped with all the features of a regular London bus, The plan is to completely renovate the inside and outside, and provide a space for children to learn and play different musical instruments. If Petru can raise the £8,000 he needs by Sunday when the crowdfunder closes, this will be the bus he'll be buying and driving up and down the country and teaching children who otherwise wouldn't have the chance to experience music. Donors have promised extras like free tickets or even having a seat named after them. His own company, Lyceum Music, is also back in the project. Born in Romania, Petru studied at the Royal Academy of Music in London. He's well versed in how much joy music can bring to people's lives. Everyone, he believes, should have a chance to play music.
We're trying to make music affordable and fun again, to cover the areas which are in need of us most, or of a musical bus pretty much that can move around, and provide the first steps into music for children and adults alike that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it.
He's already planning where the musical bus will travel to, and he's assembled his team of tutors. If he can meet his target and get Music on Wheels really motoring, the aim is to get 8,000 children on board by the end of this year. Dan Wareing, East London Lines.
And now, with a roundup of our local news, here is Humayun Nazir.
As your sub-editor for East London Line this week, I've selected top 3 stories for you to go and watch on our website www.eastlondonline.co.uk. I'm going to start with Jemima Child's story about vegan food. If you're into health, there's a new cafe opening in Hackney. The name is Wave on the 8th of February. You can go and watch the whole article, and the food is amazing. The second story is done by Regian de Santos, and it's about arts. The story is about East London streets over the period of 3 decades. Very nice pictures, very nice gallery. I should recommend you to go and watch the story on our website. The other 2 stories are related to sports, done by Puja Mazumder. Both are related to Crystal Palace. The first is Crystal Palace going to the 5th round after defeating Tottenham, and now they're going to face Doncaster in the 6th round. A very good game for Crystal Palace. And the second story is their signing of a new goalkeeper after the old 2 goalkeeper got injured. So we have to see what is their future after the new signing. So I would recommend you all to go on our website. It's called East London Line.
Up next, we'll bring you a cash boost for Hackney's Ridley Road Market and our sports news.
Hackney's Ridley Road Market is to have a £1 million makeover. Last year, proposed housing developments threatened the future of the market. But now, Hackney Council has promised new facilities to boost up trade. Eliza Katcher went to find out more.
Ridley Road Market has been serving the residents of Hackney for over 100 years. It began with only 20 stalls. Today, it's expanded to over 150. Selling a range of products from all over the globe. But traditional customers are in decline. Soaring house prices over the past 2 decades have seen an influx of wealthier residents who don't choose to shop at the market. The council says that 80% of trade is driven by local residents who don't tend to be affluent or aspirational. Tish runs her clothing stall with her daughter. She's worried about the lack of trade.
Business is so quiet. We don't get any money.
But for some traders, this may be too little, too late.
In Ridley Road Market, there's not one cash machine, there's not one dustbin to put your waste into, there's not one seat to sit in, there's no car parking facilities.
Hackney Council have said, we will continue to protect and invest in our town centres, communities and businesses. This market has been at the heart of the local community since the 1880s. And while the council has vowed not to let changes to the area squeeze out existing businesses, this cultural landmark is still fighting to keep what's left of its past. But the question remains whether this injection of cash will be enough to bring back trade to the market. Eliza Ketcher for East London Lines.
3 men were stabbed in major knife run in Croydon. 7 people were arrested. Our reporter Irina Bordbar has more details.
Hello, Sophia. That's right. The confrontation took place at Grayville Hill tram stop in Eddington around lunchtime yesterday. 3 ambulance crews, as well as an air ambulance, attended the scene. 5 people were treated on the spot, and 1 was taken to a major trauma center. The other 4 were rushed to the hospital. Their conditions are still not known. Later, the Metropolitan Police released a statement saying 7 suspects were arrested near the scene on suspicion of grievous bodily harm and taken to a South London police station. Sarah Jones, the MP for Central Croydon, said that she's in touch with the police about what she called this dreadful news and asked anyone with any information to report it to the police. According to the Office for National Statistics, over 14,000 knife offences were recorded in London during the 12 months to the end of September last year. The findings reveal that more than 40 blade offences were committed in London every single day, and the police fear that 2019 will follow at a similar rate. Back to you, Sophia.
Holocaust Memorial Day was marked at sites around the country, including at Goldsmiths. This year, the event received added attention after a survey was published suggesting that 5% of UK adults believe the Holocaust did not take place. I went to the event at Goldsmiths.
Holocaust Memorial Day is a day to honor the memory of 6 million Jews who were murdered during the World War II genocide. But this year, the event coincided with the publication of some horrifying statistics suggesting that 5% of UK adults believe the Holocaust never happened.
The survey was carried out by Opinion Matters for the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, the charity set up by the government to mark Holocaust Memorial Day. Their findings are shocking, so too were the protests by far-right demonstrators, which took place at Auschwitz. There's been strong reaction in Poland, where the Warsaw Ghetto was the largest Jewish ghetto in German-occupied Europe during World War II.
We have to make sure that we are going to be good example, living example of good behavior, of respecting each other, of remembering that God has created human being with the look of God, and everybody has the right and the obligation to keep himself alive and keep others alive. And it's quite shocking to learn that in Great Britain, more than 2.5 million people just don't know anything about the Holocaust.
I think the survey is really, really worrying, and I think a deeper part of our society today, beyond just Holocaust denial, is this denial of the facts, this post-truth society that we live in that is being propagated by politicians around the globe. And I think we have to combat Holocaust denial with the history and with education, and that is the only way we can kind of reverse this trend, I guess.
For me, growing up, having survivors in my family, it was just obvious to me. That was my narrative, that was my family history, and so for it to be denied for all of the things that my family went through.
Holocaust denial is regarded a form of anti-Semitism, suggesting as it does that Jews created a giant myth for their own ends. Yet, the Holocaust is one of the best documented genocides in history. The Prince of Wales has described the Holocaust as not just a Jewish tragedy, but a warning and a lesson to all of us.
It's quite interesting as to why they would even want to deny it. Like, is there something behind that? I'm not sure. But with all the evidence that are available, if you literally go to the Auschwitz camp, everything's there.
Everyone is well aware that as time passes, fewer survivors of Holocaust are alive to relate their stories. Fighting back against Holocaust denial is more important than ever.
The Confucius Institute at Goldsmiths College has hosted a celebration to mark Chinese New Year. It featured traditional Chinese dances and cultural activities. Fiona Zhang has more.
Kung Fu isn't just about fighting, it's also about dancing. This is Tai Chi. It's performed by the Goldsmiths Confucius Institute. It's January the 29th, and in the regional hall building of Goldsmiths, Chinese New Year celebrations are underway. There are 14 performances, including a Chinese orchestra show, traditional folk dances, and this one, line dancing.
Lion dancing is the most traditional Chinese culture activity. I just want to introduce our traditional culture to Western audiences because they're totally different from each other.
The piece I'm playing is Erhu Capriccio No. 3. It is a combination of Eastern and Western music. I want to show the multicultural aspect of music to more and more people around the world.
Various Chinese cultural activities are taking place in the hall. Visitors can try their hand at writing characters using a traditional Chinese calligraphy brush pen.
This is a traditional Chinese decoration called Fu, which means good luck. It must be written on the right paper because right represents happiness and joy in Chinese culture. Every year when the Chinese celebrate the Lunar New Year, we put up this Fu on the doors and windows because we believe it brings us a fortune for the coming year.
The activities were also attracting interest from the locals.
So I'm really interested to hear different Chinese instruments, which I never heard before.
Well, it's very exciting for me because I've never been to a Chinese New Year function before.
This year, the director told everyone it's a year of the pig.
The main reason for us to host this is because as Confucius Institute, we like to be the bridge between two different cultures. And now we would consider the world as a kind of like a global village. It's not kind of like China, Britain, Europe, European countries or America. So this is something what we really, really like to do. We think it's very special for us to deliver this kind of like a performance and a culture awareness.
Once again, Goldsmith Confucius Institute is proving to be a bridge to the local community. Fiona Zhang, East London Lines.
And now for the sports news, we are joined by Dan Wareing.
Thanks, Irena. Well, if you're a Crystal Palace fan, this last week has been a bit of a disappointment. After beating Tottenham in the FA Cup last weekend, Roy Hodgson was hoping his side could take that form into the league against Southampton. But last night's game finished in a 1-1 draw. The point lifts Palace away from the relegation zone to 15th place, but they'll be playing their next game against Fulham without their star striker Wilfried Zaha after he was sent off for sarcastically applauding the referee. He posted this tweet after the game saying, "All I can do is apologise to the team and the fans for my red card tonight because I could have cost us today. I will learn from it, for sure." FC Croydon suffered their 21st defeat of the season this week. 10th place Canterbury City came from behind to win 2-1 with this goal. This has left Croydon in 19th place and in danger of being cut adrift from the rest of the sides in the league. That's all for sport.
Thank you, Dan.
That's it for now. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next week.